Hello, everyone. How's it going? I see mic levels. Yay.
Hello.
Welcome to this month's community showcase featuring Isla.
Hi.
We don't need the headphones actually.
Well, I just put those on down
Oh, but we don't need them for a while because we have some community submissions
Woo.
ranging from write-ins, images, audio, and video. So when we get to audio and video segment,
A
we
feast
will.
for the senses.
Yes.
Except for smell, I guess.
Yes.
We'll make our own smells.
Yes. You need to be a $10 and up patron to be part of be able to submit for the community showcase. So if you're not, please consider heading over to patreon.com/easyallies and becoming a patron.
Sign it up.
Also on this wonderful thing called Twitch, we have donations and subs and stuff like that too.
Big
If
time.
you prefer to do that instead, these cool little notification things, yeah, we're hip. We're with the Twitch kids now. We're not kidding. We've been doing this for a while.
We've been doing it since they were in short pants.
That's right.
Because
And
we're old.
sometimes we allow you to scare us with cool audio shit.
And I'm super interested in checking out crowd control.
Yeah.
Which looks really cool. Penis beats.
This is crowd control sounds cool. It's also
I was Vulva A, I think.
that's something I wanted to do as well. With like 14, make people that have like they could like disable actions for like 30 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
Just start
That's
like
what
you
I'm
have to
talking
just like just
gonna
make
be
it a
sick.
roguelite.
We're gonna look into it. It's gonna be fun.
It's like, oh no, now everything's going crazy. I can't handle this stuff. So, yikes. But let's begin. We've got the post for this should go public in less than 2 hours, 4 p.m. our time. It'll go public. So if you'd like to check out any of these submissions, if you're not a $10 above patron, you'll get access then. But let's begin. We will alternate taking turns reading these, unless there were specific instructions. I'll be honest, this time I didn't get to read over some of the submissions as much as I wanted to do, so there's special requests. I did not see them yet. I did catch two of you submitted a double entry because you had typos. So going forward, if you have a typo, I do proofread these at least. Like I look over them and like see things are flagged. So if it's something like that, you don't need to double submit. It just confuses me. Thankfully, I do a check at the very end before we go live where I go over every submission and like just like match everything up. And I saw we had two doubles. I'm like, oh, because I'm going so fast when I'm just dumping it into this Google Doc for us to read. I don't always like know that there's double submission. So
Hi,
yeah.
Sophia.
Also, when we get to it, I'll give you another reminder for images, WebPB, whatever format. We're going to try and roll with it, but please do not submit in that. Neither OBS or XSplit likes those types of files. They don't really display as images.
I guess Photoshop does know how to do something now.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, OBS XSplit treats them like websites. So trying to load a website, so it's not good. So
No
yeah.
bueno.
Yeah, it's for browsers. It's for web stuff. That's what that format is. It's not for photo programs and media programs. Yeah.
Is this how you like a stream to start? Just like being shamed and disciplined?
Well,
Don't send us
I
this.
post I thought I posted like updated guidelines,
Yeah.
but it feels like every few times we get like new people who might have just glossed over them a little too fast.
Yeah. Read those
Yeah.
guidelines.
Yeah, they're there for a reason. All right, here we go. First up is Brandon K. Gann. 4 games marked my July with many great feelings and fantastic moments, though one of the 4 did disappoint in several ways. Well, it's not fair to call it a full game as I'm referring to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis Beta. It may be because I never play mobile games, but there was a great deal about how it's designed and function about how it's designed and its functions that are outright confusing. The in-game models and art assets are fantastic, but everything feels obtuse and unnecessary. Oh, currently still on the fence as to whether I'll go through the full thing when it gets its 1.0 release because of these annoyances. But we'll see if Square Enix puts in more friendly features that make it more approachable. A game I'm currently in the middle of right now is Octopath Traveler 2. I'm still infuriated with how the final segment of the game is structured, and so far, with its core systems, while its core systems are still fun, I don't think the group of characters, the stories, nor the towns in the sequel are as good as their predecessor.
Woof.
However, I recognize that's a bit premature to say, as I'm 46 hours in and only working my way through everyone's second chapter as I type this. Just a
Good
cool
Lord.
46
Yeah.
hours. Yeah, a little premature.
Chapter 2?
A little premature at 46
God.
hours. By the time this showcase is live, I won't be surprised if I've doubled both metrics.
Wow.
I did roll credits on 2 games in July I feel are incredible at what they set out to do, both being completely different games. The first is Viewfinder. I love puzzle games based on perspectives like Portal and Superliminal, and Viewfinder's pictures overriding the 3-dimensional space was a hook that never got old. It took me roughly 7 hours to fully complete everything, but its technical wizardry, coupled with inventive puzzles, always made me feel smart for finding the solution. It also doesn't hurt. It has delightful ideas themed around retro games. The story is completely unnecessary, but I highly recommend it to puzzle lovers everywhere.
I started to decide to ignore the story because it was mostly just kind of annoying me.
Alright. But the game I wish I had ages to gush about is Final Fantasy XVI. I'm in awe at how the game does practically everything to an excellent degree, and while I do have a couple of nitpicks, like a couple of loose ends unaddressed and a particular aspect about the ending I didn't vibe with, there's so much it does right I want to applaud. The story, the many characters, the icons, the hunts, the active time lore system, the combat depth, and the practically flawless music score are just some of the ingredients that delivered in so many ways for me. So much so, I now consider 16 my third favorite mainline game of the Final Fantasy franchise, and it's currently sitting within my top 20 games of all time.
Wow.
And by extension, it's currently my GOTY leader, and there isn't anything left currently announced that's coming in with a 2023 date that I can foresee challenging it for that top spot. Wow. Most satisfying single-player Final Fantasy in 2 decades, indeed.
What's your GOTY contender right now, Damiani?
I need to replay, RE4 one more time, but, dang, yeah, it's hard, because we have Zelda, for me it's Zelda, RE4, and 16, and it's like, shit. And then there's still realistically for me it's still Spider-Man 2 is in the mix, so potentially 4 really serious, and then I know everyone else is gonna bring other stuff
for me it's Zelda, Baldur's Gate 3. I can foresee Armored Core and Spider-Man.
I fucking forgot about Armored Core. Okay, that one probably too. Yeah, Baldur's Gate.
This year, legitimately, it's not even a joke that there's a GOTY contender almost every single month.
If it's actually good,
I get Starfield. Yeah,
if it actually actually follow through on it, and that's legit.
If Starfield attains its lofty promise, it could easily be a contender.
It would be in that discussion.
I'm cautiously optimistic on Starfield. I have been burned by Bethesda releases so many times. Starfield a year from now might be incredible.
That's the thing,
But
that would be my Vegas betting money would be on. Oh, sometime in the next 12 months, Starfield will be amazing. But
I hope though that they just nail it right out of the gate. Mario Wonder,
so
goddamn
that's
it!
This
year is insane.
It feels weird to call it a sleeper because it's a 2D Mario,
right?
But it's it could just be you just revolutionize 2D platformers and holy shit,
cataclysmic wave. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 to me though, it's just staggering.
Yeah, I've definitely watched a good about
Alan 2, yeah.
I think I've watched 2 to 3 hours of Baldur's Gate on Twitch so far. But
yeah,
I'm understanding
I'm loving it. It's taking me back to my sweaty teenage years, alone in the dark playing CRPGs for days at a time. I'm back. I'm right back in it. I'm right back in it, baby.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brandon K. Gann, though. That was a good one.
Thank you. All right. Next up.
16's your number 3?
Me, that's...
No, you.
No, that's what they
You
said.
listed it third.
No, I just went in order in my head. I wasn't, like,
okay.
giving...
Chronological order.
Yeah, that was, like...
You gave me a glimmer of hope that we won't have. The shit fight this year for Cody is going to be bananas.
yeah. I mean, yeah, we have to, like... It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I have to start thinking of defenses against... Well, RE4 already had its day in the sun. Like... we're gonna get down to those nitpicky things like, do we reward something that's brand new, or do we, you know? But it's like, hey, how hard is it to like remake something and make it just as good or better? It's like, it's hard. That's a challenge. All right.
Anyway.
You ready?
RF Switch says, greetings, Isla and Damiani. First of all, fangirl squeal. Oh, I'm so happy for you and Sophia. Isla. Thank you. Congrats to both of you, and may you both have a long and happy life together. Thank you so much. Anyway, not to be grim, Paul Rubens, famous for playing Pee-wee Herman, died recently, and it reminded me of a story from my own life. That said, I've promised that I'd talk about my supernatural luck on the showcase at some point, and it relates to that story. When I was a small child, I think a year or two old, I won a Halloween costume contest for kids. The grand ow. Felt like I got bit by a bug, but I think it was just in my brain. The grand prize was a giant, disturbing-looking, yellow Humpty Dumpty storage bin filled to the brim with toys. In it was, among other things, a Pee Wee Herman doll and a child-sized version of his chair from the show. And that's where it all began. You could scroll if you want.
Yeah, too bad.
You know how some people might find quarters or maybe dollar bills on the ground? Yeah, I find 5s and 20s, and sometimes it's because the wind literally slaps them into my face as I'm walking around. Isn't that there's a good X-Files episode where a guy has like supernatural luck. It's good. Have you ever seen that one?
I've seen all the X-Files episodes. I just don't remember at the moment. It's been a few years.
He like plays a poker game with the mob, and like they all like die, all the mobsters.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Only the most important episodes remain, like the monster episode.
Yeah, some Monster of the Week episodes really stick.
The black and white episode? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That one was good.
What is that one called? Not the final, Clive Buckman's Final Repose. That's a good one. The black and white one. Upon rewatch, the black and white one is a little weird.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's a little weird.
It just stands out. That's all. I don't know if it's good or not.
Yeah. I definitely had memories of it. I
out.
rewatched it like within the last year, and I was like, oh, this is kind of glossing over some troublesome things. Anyway, slaps in face and walking around. It's always been like this. Like how I just happened to win a booster box as a door prize during the Magic the Gathering State Champion, and just happened to pull 5 dual lands, 2 Birds of Paradise, and a bunch of other ultra rares from the original Ravnica set. And in case anyone was curious, that was a good set. It's like the time I played Texas Hold'em with my friends and just happened to get a pair of aces, and the other 2 aces were pulled in from the turn and the river. My ex-best friend tried to call my bluff and made me go all in. He should have known better. It's always like this with me, and it comes to probability and chance. I'd roll 20s on a d20 constantly, which frightens some people. I'd randomly pull rainbow rares into single packs of Pokemon cards. I've said this before. I won 16,000 tickets at round 1 while playing one of those impossible to win push machines that are specifically rigged. Next time I went to that arcade, I won 3 jackpots and 3 different machines back to back. And it's weird because for the most part, I have bad luck when it comes to life. That Pee Wee Herman doll, yeah, I tripped and fell down the stairs at my grandmother's house when I was 3 while holding that doll. Don't know what happened to it either. Stuff like that happens all the time too. That's just the way it is. My life and luck is almost literally a coin flip. It's either really good or really bad. C'est la vie. Love and respect, RF Switch. P.S. The tarot card that best represents Jason Wishnov is the Knight of Coins, a card that represents hard work, practicality, and responsibility. It has nothing to do with his chess skills, though. That's a good card for him, I think.
I was gonna say you should have tried to take advantage of those good fortunes and got that One Ring card.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear Post Malone bought it?
Yeah, what, 2.5 million?
Was it 2.5? I didn't know how much he bought it.
$1 million.
I know that there was a company that offered $1 million for it, and like I think they're probably the ones who sold it. What up, RF? We just read your thing.
All right, next up from Bruno Saurus. Hello, Damiani and Isla.
Hi.
I hope you both are having a grand August thus far, especially yourself, married Isla. Hopefully you both are mentally preparing yourselves for Super Nintendo World.
Yeah.
Have a grand time as I live vicariously through you all.
We will try our best. It'll be interesting for us because we won't be able to go anywhere else in Universal.
Yeah.
Because we don't know if they let you go back in and out. So we're just going to post up in Mario World.
I was just told to be, like, it's extremely small. Just be ready for how small it is.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's Universal Studios Hollywood. It's a tiny baby.
Yeah. For the monthly update of my gigantic backlog, it currently sits at 666.
Yeah.
Heavy death metal starts to play in the background. I beat 10 backlog games since July 1st and added 7 others since then. One being Immortality after watching the No Clip documentary.
Oh, I need to watch
and
that
always
still.
hearing Isla's love for it. Some games beaten were rather short though, like Strider.
Struder, actually.
Yeah, it's Struder. I forgot to correct
Struder.
that. The 2 Sonic...
Yeah, that's Damiani's fault.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Didn't catch that typo.
The 2 Sonic Advance games, Unfinished Swan,
I love that
and
game.
Altered Beast.
The OG one? There's an OG one, right?
I don't know which one. There's new one. There's the older one.
Yeah.
I am heavily thankful for short games. I added Jedi Survivor and Tears of the Kingdom to the backlog, as there are just too many games. Hopefully, Tears of the Kingdom won't suffer the same fate as Breath of the Wild in my backlog and last in there for over 1,500 days.
How are you tracking all this? Do you use that website, that the GG or whatever? Whatever.
Pikmin 4 is grand. Heavily adoring my time with it so far. Don't know if I'll go for 100% completion though in each area, but I love doing that in the early areas. Because of Pikmin 4 and a week and a half long trip to Atlanta and Chattanooga, Final Fantasy 16 was put on the back burner a bit. Forgive me, Ben Star, wherever you are.
It's like a nice rhyme.
August is pretty light for me, so I hope to capitalize on that with more Final Fantasy 16 time. Backlog goals for the year have been stagnant the past month. Made the choice to switch out Assassin's Creed 2 for Bully on the PlayStation 2, since there's just too many games to lead into a replay of that trilogy. But
I missed my PS2.
Do you have a backwards compatible PS3 or just like the PS2
I think I have a backwards compatible PS3, but it's broken.
Yeah.
Or no, that's my PS4.
I like how the PS2 looked at that like little blue line.
I loved it.
But since October is packed, I chose to start my annual spooky backlog time this month. Forgive me, everyone in chat. A 3-month leeway for spooky games I will call the Fall Spooks. 3 games from the backlog goals are in there, so that's better than none. And Isla, I am starting the journey of Silent Hill during this time. Yay, creepy PS1 spooks. I had a second interview with a company and I passed an assessment to be a teaching assistant for web development instead of digital marketing.
Nice.
Which is more in tune with who I am now compared to when I took the last role. Progress. I started to listen to a football podcast from 2013 when they started. Weird to hear some names pop up you haven't thought about in years. As of typing the last episode I listened to, the Jets sit at 1-1 in the 2013 season, coming off a 13-10 loss to the New England Patriots on Thursday Night Football. They will end up going 7-7 the rest of the year. Bleacher Report predicted they would go 3-13, just showing how they beat the odds by just being average. Have a grand weekend to both of you. Love and respect. Go Jets. The Jets might have some hope, but I will trust my instincts to set my expectations low.
I mean the Go Jets back in 2013.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know how they did.
All right.
My turn. Joe Caruso, Isla, I knew you and so. Wait, I had something I wanted to say about that last one. Scroll back up. I can't remember what it was now. Oh yeah, the Pikmin 4 thing. I had a wonderful day the other day. Speaking of Jason Wishnoff, he came over and we were just like gaming. I was playing Baldur's Gate 3. He was playing Pikmin 4. Sophia was playing Palia. We were just like vibing. It was great. It was nice. I can't play Pikmin because they die and it makes me too sad. I'm too sad about it. I don't know. Anyway, can you save scum Pikmin 4?
There's a rewind feature. So you can rewind to a checkpoint. Though sometimes you can get screwed over. Like if they die and something like hits a checkpoint right away. Well, there's multiple. I think you can rewind them a few slots back, so it's not just like the most recent one.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm still gonna keep playing it. I don't think I have the desire to 100% it.
Yeah.
I 100%ed the first area, but yeah, it feels like there's a lot to do in it because it's a lot more open than 3. So I honestly think I might prefer 3's focus a little bit more than 4's open nature. Also, I don't like the Dandori battles.
Yeah, Jason was sitting and doing those next to me, and I was like, "What's happening?"
I watched someone streaming it, and like how fast they are. Like I was like, these controls are too complex for this. How are you doing all this? I'm like, okay,
yeah,
the Miyamoto, this is like this is complex. So yeah.
Okay. Joe Caruso, Isla, I knew you and Sophia were engaged, but according to another patron, you ladies are now married. Congratulations, if true. It is true. My fiance and I will be getting married in over a year, but we're basically done. We've basically done all the planning and booking, mostly thanks to her. Even though it's costing us a bundle, I am extremely excited for the wedding. I can't wait to watch our wedding party walk down the aisle to Sam Griffith's cover of Radical Dreamers from Chrono Cross. If you don't recognize the name Sam Griffin, he's one of the Super Guitar Brothers. I can't wait to attempt not to cry when I see my fiance walk down the aisle. I can't wait to make her cry with my vows, and I can't wait to see so many friends and family together in one place. I guess a wedding really is a dream come true, you know, those strange dreams you have where some of your high school, middle school, and college friends are somehow in the same place. That's a wedding. I just hope I have enough time to talk to our guests. I'm so excited that I'm genuinely afraid that all future life events will pale in comparison. After all, I cannot think of another opportunity to see so many friends and family together. It's hard enough to get just one friend to spend time with us due to distance and adult obligations. Anyway, I hope your wedding was amazing, and I imagine ours will be. Love and respect, Joe. That's so sweet. Yeah, I mean, they say, like, friends of mine who spent a lot on their weddings were like, it was definitely worth it because it's like, it was like a favorite memory. It's like the highlight of your life or whatever. And it's in a different way, obviously. Like your life will still be good after, but it's just a fun time. Yeah, I'm looking forward to. We're gonna have like a reception with more family later, also. So I'm gonna get to do that stuff too. Yeah, I'm really excited for it too.
Next submission comes from Jesse Blue. Hi, Damiani, and chat, and especially Isla.
Ha! Silver medal!
Greetings from the Midwest. I hope you are doing well and feeling some relief from the heat. We had a few cooler days, but August just started, so we are about to heat up again. I was debating what message to write when I realized the showcase would be on what would have been my sister's 50th birthday, and that you would be here, Isla. I thought I would talk about her. You see, she spent her whole life saying she wished she'd been born a boy. She was diagnosed as hyperactive as a child and given Ritalin. She was also probably somewhere on the autism spectrum, but was never tested. She was in and out of police stations and psych wards all her adult life. She was diagnosed bipolar at 27 and got on the right medication, but society gave her too little too late. She must have felt there was nothing she could do to fix how badly she was broken, and unfortunately she took her own life at the age of 31. The last time I saw her alive, I was 3 months pregnant with my daughter. She kissed my belly and waved as it saying, "Bye, baby," as if the baby could see and hear her. She got to hear the news, but must have felt too ashamed of how she was living her life to stick around and meet her. I'm very sorry about that.
Yeah.
Back then, they didn't screen for autism or encourage kids to go to therapy, and certainly didn't talk about changing your gender. If you didn't like girly things, you were just a tomboy and told you'd grow out of it. They said it to us all the time. The difference between her and I, though, is that she really, from a very young age, wished she was a boy. She hated wearing dresses, loved singing baritone, she pretended to be Michelangelo, Panther, and dozens of strong male cartoon characters, and she even used to pee standing up, like, all the time. All the fights she got into would have been brushed off as boys will be boys, and being filthy dirty wouldn't have raised any eyebrows. If she'd been born 10 or 15 years later, she'd have probably had a therapist and would most likely have transitioned. I can't say no 100% for sure, but after everything I saw her go through, I'd much rather have traded a sister for a brother than to lose her altogether.
Yeah.
If the multiverse has taught us anything, it's that all of our choices have created a universe somewhere that a duplicate of ourselves has made every choice imaginable. There's one where I called my sister to check up on her more frequently, one where I didn't say mean and hurtful things to her, one where she didn't go off her meds, and there's even one where she changed her mind and went back home that day. But it's not this one. I don't miss her every day anymore, but when I do, it still really hurts. I dream about her sometimes when I do. I imagine that I've slipped through a crack and gone to visit her in a universe where she's still able to hug me and I hug her back tightly. She says she's she says she's keeping an eye on little Blue, making sure she stays out of real trouble. I tell her, "You do that for me," and today I tell her, "Happy birthday, I love you." I wanted to end on a higher note, so I will say to you, congratulations on your and Sophia's marriage.
Thanks.
I am so happy to see society moving away from traditional gender roles, albeit slowly. I've known for a long time that gender is not binary. If you pay enough attention to science, it's easy to figure out. There shouldn't be a problem getting people to believe it, but unfortunately that is the case. To have our interests or career options or who we marry be based on a part of our anatomy that is absurd, especially when it's the part that we're supposed to keep covered up. Society might as well be divided by whether you have an innie or an outie belly button. Being gay or trans should be as normalized as whether someone is left-handed or ambidextrous. Remember, not that many years ago, people were forced to change their handedness. Sinister is Latin for left, which seems absurd to us now. All we can hope is that our children's children will feel that way about gender assignment and presentation. Wishing you two all the best. Love and respect, and LNR, hugs and smiles, Jessie Blue.
Yeah, my favorite graph for showing people that there have always been trans people, it's just that we're more vocal now, is that left-handedness graph, where it's like as soon as it stopped being persecuted, left-handedness went way up, and it's like left-handedness didn't go up, just people saying they're left-handed went up. It's like, yes, I'm left-handed. Yeah. I wish that your sister had gotten the help that she deserved. I had a friend who completed suicide, who was bipolar also, and like just didn't get the help in time, and it's devastating. It's just really rough. So yeah, seriously, if you or anybody you know needs help like that, please get it. Please help people to get it. Yeah, I mean, I know it's hard to reach out all the time, but it's worth trying. But also, it's not your fault. Like, should have said this, should have done this. You can't live like that. Excuse me. Like, there's nothing you didn't know. You shouldn't have done anything differently than you did. I don't know. Anyway. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. It took a lot for me to not cry during that.
No, yeah, that was very heavy. James Davey, hey Damiani and Isla. In the past few years, I've become more and more convinced that the way many of us live our lives in this culture of ours isn't conducive to positivity and a healthy mindset. You're damn right. We constantly feed from the media and social media's hands, and I believe that corrupts the core of who we are. You're damn right. We pursue the news and happen upon a deluge of negative stories that have nothing to do with us, weaving through our psyche like thorn-tipped vines, beautiful, And all it accomplishes is making us care too much about stuff that doesn't exist in our own personal realities. Yeah, we're not built to know about everything that's happening in the world, that's for sure. I think our concentration on non-personal matters can twist our perceptions of others. Sometimes I am convinced that we're getting deep today, fuck. Sometimes I am convinced that we'd be far better living in conditions similar to humanity's formative years. I know caring for people seems like a lovely and wholesome thing to do for connection and feeling a sense of belonging, but too often we like to connect with unhelpful people and situations which can promote misery and a negative mindset. I find that turning off the news is very beneficial to a good mental state. Yeah, I try not to know the news as much as I can. I don't get on with how our culture turns sweetness and innocence into corruption, bitterness, and resentfulness. I feel many of the qualities and purities inherent in our childhoods erode and degrade in time because of how we as a society have chosen to lay the groundwork. On the gaming front, I feel like I have this rote habit of stoking fires with some of my incendiary opinions and probing questions. Admittedly, I have a hard time trying to procure the level of pleasure in certain games that mainstream audiences appear to have. Yeah, samesies. Tears of the Kingdom is a huge blinking example where everyone seems to relish how enormous it is, and how all the flourishes make it one of the biggest games or best games of all time, apparently. However, when I play it, I find the object manipulation mechanics finicky, traversing the world is a pain, and certain mechanics and design options are really annoying. Besides the glaringly divisive durability systems, needing to keep Link safe during freezing and boiling hot temperatures is more irritating than worthwhile. I'd like to ask how, just get the clothes. I'd like to ask how you two get over these kinds of problems. I don't, I just stopped playing them. I don't think they bother either of you. Oh, they bother me a lot. Not these specifically, but things like this. I don't think they bother either of you, but do you have any advice that could make me enjoy Tears of the Kingdom a lot more? Get the clothes for temperature stuff. It makes it way easier. And just stop playing if you're not enjoying yourself. You don't have to... Nobody says you gotta play it. It doesn't matter. It's just a game. Lately, I've started playing Street Fighter 6, and I'm amazed at how Capcom have made Street Fighter far more likable and stylish than it was in the past. I couldn't get on with previous SF games, but playing Street Fighter 6 is effortlessly cool and badass, even though it reminds me of the Yakuza series a lot. I'd love to see other fighting games receive a similar facelift. Lastly, if there was a way for either of you to change something about modern video games, what would you change? Thanks for all you do, love and respect. There's a lot in there. I mean, generally what I would change about modern video games is the discourse. Just like... It doesn't have... Nothing has to be toxic about video games. They're little fun games for having fun in your life and trying to make your life a little better. That's all they're for. And, like, we don't need to be fighting each other on Reddit about it, because who gives a shit? So that's what I would change about that. Also, yeah, the internet has destroyed humanity. You're not wrong about that. Back to the first half. But it's also, you know, invented a lot of great things, too. So it's just like everything else, you take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
Like the atom bomb, very destructive. But nuclear power, very strong. I don't know. Other things, too. Probably science crap.
I think you hit on the thing. Most of the time, it's the Ian Malcolm quote.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, not just whether or not we should. It's probably should always be done. It's just, is humanity ready for that type? What do they fully understand? And the answer generally is no. No. Because
that's the whole thing of Oppenheimer.
Yeah. And that's that. It's happened with very serious things, which like things that like I mean now we're like that's absurd. Anyone ever thought it could have like destroyed the world or something? It's like, well, at the time they weren't sure, so it's like there was a chance. Yeah. And like with like technology, the internet, like.
But I mean, ask somebody from Nagasaki, and it's like,
yeah,
it did.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, to define world, or you know,
right.
Like as there's context there. Obviously, sorry, you know, not ignorant of that.
No, obviously.
But
I wasn't calling you out.
The internet, obviously, like people didn't understand like what it could lead to.
Yeah.
Everyone had these like notions of it, but like honestly, despite it being the internet, World Wide Web, it was still very segregated in terms of like all people weren't brought together in a way that kind of happened in the last 10, 15 years with social media, kind of like making everything faster, breaking like barriers of like we don't have these niche groups anymore. It's like everyone's just thrown together, and like
and yet there are bigger, more niche groups, like more fringe groups being created because it's funny. I mean, it's exactly what you said. It's like we've been given this huge technological advancement. It's a weapon, as Chad says, and we don't know how to wield it. And we don't know how to wield it responsibly. Honestly, my answer for what to do if you don't like a game is my same for my answer to, like, the news is making me depressed, social media is making me depressed, the internet is making me depressed. Stop. Like, the answer to all of these problems is if you're not enjoying something, stop doing it to the best of your ability. I know, like, avoiding the news is not always doable, but, like take my social media habits, like, I don't get as bogged down because, like, I follow very specific accounts. If accounts start posting things that make me depressed or, like, remind me of things that, you know, rip my heart out, I stop following them. Like, only look at curate for yourself a safe and beautiful version of the internet and only see the things you want to see as much as you can, you know? And it's like your friends and, like, the things that matter that you can impact and do something about will surface to you. Like you said, you can have a knowledge of what's happening globally, which I think is very good because it does help you to be empathetic to the plight of other people. But it's at the same time, it's like what you're saying is like, there's no real reason to be tied up in knots about something happening on the other side of the globe that you wouldn't have otherwise known about unless there's something you can do about it, you know? Like, you don't necessarily need to know anything about it. You can try to control and do things, help things more locally with people you see and people and systems that you interact with locally, you know, because you can have a much bigger impact on that. And so it's like, you try to control your internet, you know, and make it the version of the world that you want to see. Because, like, as we can see with Fox News and all this shit, there's a beautiful term that I learned from Neil Stephenson, which is post-reality. Like, post-reality people exist now, where it's like, they're just following threads of lies that, like, are showing them a different version of reality than what is real, you know? Like, kind of back to what Jesse Blue was talking about with trans stuff is, like, I told the story during Gabby and my hangout of that lady at my high school reunion who'd, like, never met a trans person before. And she validated me hardcore because she didn't think it was me and didn't believe me when I told her. She guessed my friend Brandon, actually, was the trans person because she had heard that there was a trans person at the thing. But, like, she's just never met somebody like me, right? And I think that that's the problem with almost everything is exposure. It's like if you were just exposed to different groups, different lifestyles, we would all understand each other better. So the internet is giving us that, but at the same time, it's giving people a false version of that too, where it's vilifying people for no reason, not just trans people, but like everybody. So it's like it's a job to try to like pare it all down and like make it all safe for your well-being. I think. I don't know. Rambling now, probably. Billionaires ruined a lot of things. Yeah, certainly. Anyway, just stop playing Tears of the Kingdom if you don't want to play it. No judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no thing. I haven't finished it. Like, I like it fine, but there's other shit to do.
Next submission is from Level Capybara. Hi, Damiani. Hi, Isla. Hope you and the crew are staying cool in August.
Thankfully, yes. Our air conditioner works.
Mm-hmm. I felt the cold wind blow through the hallway.
Yeah.
It was working so well. This month, I just wanted to say thanks for, among other things, the Opinion Yell episode you put together a while back. I always get a kick out of those videos, and the latest one was no exception. The mix and match concept was a hilarious surprise, and everyone took their prompts and ran with them in superbly entertaining ways.
Thank you.
So I know this thank you is coming a few months late, but thank you. An awesome job, and keep up the great work. Love and respect, Level Capybara. P.S. Did Dawn, everyone else, ever remember how to do the thumb trick since making that episode? Dear Lord. Oh my.
Is it like this?
Yeah.
I did it!
Something like that. It's something
I
like
just
that.
remembered right now. Can you do it with one finger, is it? I did it! Wee-oo! Wee-oo!
Alright, let's get ready for some
Did you-
images. Oh,
Did
sorry.
you ever watch Good Omens?
No, I did
We
not.
just finished season 2. There's some great LGBT representation in that show.
I just watched. Well, I was hoping when he was here talking about with him too, because he recommended to me Cosmic Time Machine, the documentary about the James Webb Space Telescope,
Oh, okay.
like the 2 decades it took to make it happen.
Yeah.
If you want optimism and hope for humanity, that's for positivity, you should watch that.
Okay.
Because it's like a very, like, yeah, the excitement by the team that worked on it. And, like, what it like means for understanding
Cosmic
like,
Time Machine?
Well, it's because you're looking back.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. That's just what it's called.
And I forget what it's like. Not Untold. Untold is the sports thing. It's like unsomething.
The
It's
Netflix
on Netflix. Yeah, it's
anthology
Netflix.
thing.
Yeah, this is
yes,
one of those.
he was talking to me about that too.
Yes, it was like fantastic, and they spent because obviously they can't show James Webb out in space. They paid someone a
He
lot
would
of
die.
money to do CG and
Oh,
render
okay.
how it like traveled out there, and it looks actually really good.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, I mean, it's also just a telescope, so it's not too complicated, but like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
looks
yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
So very good about that. And then, but also Untold, there was a athlete, Johnny Manziel, who was known as Johnny Football, who was like one of
Okay.
the biggest college sports players, and then like just self-destructed when he went to his first season in NFL, where he just like got dismissed by the team. He was a
Whoa.
first-round draft pick, millions of dollars, and just like the last straw was he went to Vegas the weekend of a game that was in
Oh.
Cleveland. He played for the Browns and just didn't fly back for the game.
What?
So they just kicked him off the team.
Jesus
And
Christ.
you find out like it's like, well, what happened and stuff, and you find out like a little bit similar. He was like diagnosed with a lot of shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he
Unknown
was
cosmic time machine.
unknown. That was it. Yeah, he was diagnosed with bipolar.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, he basically like you see how his like family was trying, and he was like this being self-destructive because sometimes you need professional help, and he just refused to get it. And like he's still like they're like he's better, but like we're still trying to get him to do this, and it's like he's starting to now understand like what he was going through.
Yeah.
And he was like, I didn't even like football. Like it was just like
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's like all this crazy shit. It's like someone who was like a legendary like player in college, won all these awards, won everything, and it's like they weren't happy with any of
Right.
that. So sometimes,
Didn't want to be
yeah,
doing this.
and no one understood. Like, dude, you have the world. Why are you like
Yeah.
not happy? It's like, yeah. But our first set of images come from Sarah Knight. Hello, Damiani and Isla. Hope you guys are
Wait,
doing.
you read the last one.
Did I? Yes, I did. Sorry.
It's my turn.
Go ahead.
Sarah Knight. Hello, Damiani and Isla. Hope you guys are doing well and sending huge congrats to Isla and her new wife. Thank you. Wish you guys a very long time of happiness. Thanks. Anyways, if you haven't checked out the Easy Allies official Patreon Discord community content channel, then you would have seen what I've been making lately. Since finishing Final Fantasy 16, I've been in a Final Fantasy mood. I've even started up the Final Fantasy 9. I don't know why I said the. So that I can finally add it to my list of FF games I've beaten. As of writing this, I'm now up to 7 mainline games. So because of my FF mood, I've finally decided to do a project that I've been meaning to do for many years now, and that's making illustrations for every mainline Final Fantasy game, including the MMOs. And as of now, I've finished up to the first 4 games. Instead of making high-effort illustrations, which would take forever to make, I decided to simplify them akin to t-shirt designs. Speaking of t-shirt designs, you can find these designs and more on Sarah Knight's shop at trepublic.com/user/Sarah Knight. Go check it out now. One more thing, a special announcement concerning my webcomic Pantheris on the final image. Hope you guys stay safe and be awesome to everyone around you. Much love and respect, Sarah Knight. Okay.
Here we go. First image, Final Fantasy 1. So we got Fighter, black mage, and white mage.
Love it.
That's right. No monk and no thief, but that's cool. I like this. I like no red mage either. But
I didn't realize Final Fantasy 1 had so many different classes.
they have 6, I believe.
Oh.
And you can choose from 6, and that's pretty much. Chat famously hates Prelude. Yes, they do. Hubert is not happy
That's true.
That's not on there. All right, let's get our second image from Final Fantasy 2. Ooh. Oh, we got Maria. Maria. Jeez, I keep saying Maria. Guy and Furion. Yeah, that's Guy. That's Furion. That's Maria.
Very cool.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 2. Pandemonium.
Such crystals.
Yeah.
For too long have we lived under the tyranny of the crystals.
That's
was
right.
It?
Yeah.
Something like that.
No more. Onion Knight, Red Mage, Dragoon, Summoner. Look at that. That
Little
is good.
Bahamut.
Yeah, that's Summoner with the Bahamut. So good. This is gonna be the next Final Fantasy I play, 3 Pixel Remaster, because I've never played through 3 before. So I'm very
And you
intrigued.
say you're a fan.
There's so
Fake
many.
fan over here.
Fake fan. All right, here we go. We got we
Oh,
got Kane the
Dragoon.
Dragoon. We got Cecil as the Paladin. We got Rosa as the White Mage. We got Rydia as the Summoner, and you got your favorite Edge Ninja over there. Before Final Fantasy VI, before you had your other ninja. This was the OG Edge. Yeah, that's really good. I like that. This makes me think of Theater Rhythm for some reason, these art designs. Oh, and here it is.
Oh, I keep yawning.
This is the announcement.
No.
Chapter 2 returning, September
Number
2nd, only on Webtoons. There you go.
Hell yeah.
Big shout out.
Check
there.
out
Yeah.
Pantheras, dude.
Thank you. Edge is an idiot, but we love him. Yes. Edge,
I love how his name is literally Edge.
Yeah. Edge, a little too thirsty for Rydia, but it's okay.
Oh.
All right. Next is from Tirju Engi. Hi, Isla and Damiani. Here are some photos I combined together from my last month's trip that includes eating Kobe beef in Osaka,
Ooh.
seeing moving Gundam in Yokohama, along with various other things that are shown in there. Ooh,
Hell
I can't
yeah.
wait. Let me see if I can get one of those images up first, because I know I generally put these up after, but... Oh yeah, we gotta do the rotate trick. Hang on.
We could just rotate our heads.
No, I can, where is it? It's here. Rotate. This way.
Woo.
Yeah, look at that.
That must be the beef.
That's the beef.
I heart Kobe says it right there.
Yeah. Probably my favorite thing to do on a trip was visiting the Tezuka Museum that had a collaboration with Street Fighter
Oh.
6 and their other fighting games as side content. Oh, nice. Oh, we'll go back to this. Is there another image?
This is
Oh,
the Gundam.
this is the moving Gundam. Now we're in a
Now we gotta-
weird rotating phase here, so I gotta rotate this back this way. There we go. I don't know why it rotated that other image. I think because sometimes if these are cell phone images,
Yeah,
it's
if they're
encoded into the
vertical,
data,
yeah.
they're trying to read it. But heck yeah, look at
Ugh.
that moving Gundam, man. It's
Oh,
so
it kneels?
sick.
Jeez.
Yeah,
That thing is crazy.
That is awesome. That is great. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that, Totoro.
Wolf there.
Yeah, look at that. That's sick. Alright. Watched the new Indiana Jones and thought it was okay, but if you're going to de-age Indy, you should have made his voice sound younger. Also, way too many of the shots were filmed way too close up, probably for obvious reasons. Oppenheimer had changing scenes too fast early on, but once it settled a bit, I enjoyed it a lot more. Wish some actors had more screen time because they were so good. Not to mention the stares that could kill.
Mm-hmm.
I would also make that face as a response.
Yeah.
Just watched the first slam dunk on Sunday. It was great. It was a great one, mostly from another chapter's perspective. Been ages since I saw the series, but I got pretty emotional, and even at one point held my breath because I feared being too loud if I didn't. And the moment felt like it went on forever. Seeing as some have watched it 3 or even 4 times, it really is such a good movie. And lastly, saw Hidden Strike on Netflix starring Jackie Chan and John Cena.
Whoa.
What? Which
How have I
brought
not heard of that?
lots of mixed emotions because of how poor the CGI was and how absurd some of the writing is. Not to mention, I was very vocal about it, even watching it alone at home. Evo was interesting to watch just this past weekend. The finals I saw were all great, but Mena RD's Blanca left a great impression on me in his play in general against other well-known pros. Also, it was interesting to see how others would react to players who play with modern controls, with only Haitani reaching top six with Chun-Li. No doubt the topic will be discussed, argued for a long time. I do have one gripe from the whole event. Pulling medals from your front pocket to straight give it to the players looked so weird.
Oh, weird.
Why not do like the majority of sports do and have them neatly arranged on a tray or something? Overall, it was a great event. Love and respect, Tearju Engi. Yeah, I didn't even notice the medal part.
That does seem very strange.
I probably wasn't like paying too close attention at that part. I did see like the trophy award part, the big crystal trophy. That was pretty sick.
Pulling a giant crystal trophy out of your pocket is very weird.
Yeah.
Oh, yo.
They just pulled that out of thin air though. Apparently, there it's a 3D cat thing.
Love that
Yes.
3D. That 3D. I haven't seen it with the cat, but I've seen it with like a dragon or whatever.
That gets up. Yeah.
That's a cool ad. I think there's one like that downtown LA too, on a corner. John Cena sucks.
Good shots there.
Is that a model of the giant?
Yeah. That's so good.
Funny. Where is that? It's just out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, like that
nice.
Street Fighter art. Street Fighter 6. Yuri art. Nice.
Spy Family.
Very nice. Alright, very good stuff. Thank you
Looks
for
like
sharing
a fun
that.
trip.
Yeah.
Good night, Sarah Knight.
Glad it turned out alright after last month's update about some small troubles with it. But they had some small troubles with the beginning of the trip.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, glad it worked out. Screaming Argonaut, Isla, and Damiani. Hi. First of all, congrats to Isla and Sophia. Best wishes for a long, joy-filled life together. Thank you so much. Second of all, it's been a slow month on Poppleton, so I thought I'd share some of the vacation homes I designed. I pulled out some of my favorites and just put them in alphabetical order. Let's see here. Down.
Sorry. There we go.
Alright. This is the first one. Eugene said he wanted a place to tell his story. So I thought giving him a late night talk show would be the best format for him. Oh, that's so smart.
Yeah, that's really
I love
good.
that.
Before I gave up on Animal Crossing, I was trying to recreate the like our stream room.
Oh,
and stuff.
cute.
That was for, like the studio in the house, but I kind of gave up.
That's really a fun idea, Dominic. Alright, next one here is... Oh, cute.
Ooh.
Frigga wanted her own movie theater. Looking at it now, I realize the full windows are not ideal for that. So let's just pretend the curtain wraps all the way around. I love that. I had a movie theater similar to this in my house, too. Harry asked for something messy. This is not my fault. You did a great job. That's good. And on the other end of the spectrum, Ione asked for something fancy. You may have noticed by now that I like ceiling drapery. Is it Ione or Lone? I would say Ione.
Oh,
Oh, look at this.
nice.
This guy's name is Kyle. I don't know why I decided on this setup, but I think, oh wow, yeah, that's just like Kyle's room. I hate it. Great work. I'm instantly reviled, so you got the likeness very spot on. This is Murphy's. I'm just kidding. This is Murphy's Factory. I think it's a good example of how weird some of the new items are and how the vacation homes are a good excuse to use them. Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, the vacation home add-on was huge. It was so good.
Click the right
John Cena sucks. Poncho asked for a Western themed home. Oh, shit. No, that makes more sense because that didn't look like a Western. I'm like, you didn't quite nail the theme on this one. Sorry. Naomi asked for an art cafe. Fun fact, this build was how I found out there's a limit on how many items you can fit into one room. Oh, wow. Yeah, I noticed you have a lot of little tchotchkes there. I like that. Definitely an art cafe, not a Western theme. Here we go. Poncho asked for a Western-themed home. I think he specifically said he wanted the Jones treatment, whatever that means. That's cute. I really love the... Sophia did one with that background, too. With
oh,
the,
nice.
You make it look like it's outside back there. I love that. It's really nice. Man, they had to... The people who made Animal Crossing had to think up so much stuff. Finally, Tia wanted to play... I love Tia. She's so cute. Finally, Tia wanted a place for a tea party. This was my most liked one on Instagram, but I think that's more to do with Tia being cute rather than anything else. I think you did a wonderful job, and it deserves praise. Anyway, that was the last year or so on some vacation islands close to Poppleton. I hope something interesting happens on Poppleton proper this month. We'll have to wait and see. Until then, love and respect, Screaming Argonaut. Thank you so much. Those were great. Art Western.
Yep. Next up is Kit Snow. Hi, allies. It's been a while, and I've come back with another new hobby I've picked up. My chronic illness is finally caught up with me, and I've been essentially bedridden for the better part of it.
Oh, shit.
So earlier this year, I stole some yarn from my mom and started crocheting. I've had a lot of fun figuring out what I like to do, but I found a profound love for tapestry. I'm looking forward to continuing to make big weird things to hopefully pass down to future generations so they can enjoy it too. All the love in the world, Kit Snow. Let's check these out. Aww. Look at that.
I don't know how people do this kind of stuff. It looks so complicated to me.
My grandma knitted a lot.
Oh, wow.
That's so cool. My grandma knitted like sweaters and blankets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My mom made me some Afghan blankets, which I like.
Always those like two like giant needle looking things.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
A case for like a phone?
It keeps turning them. That's cute. Oh my god. The deeds.
Yeah. Ooh, look at this.
Holy crap.
Man, that looks like pixel art almost. With
Yeah, that's
game.
amazing.
Yeah.
Is that a death's head moth or whatever?
Oh, what is this?
Whoa. Hardcore.
Very nice. Nice stuff, kid.
Damn, you're good at that.
Yeah, that's really good. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Maddie, Unexpected Enemy. Howdy, allies. Hope everyone is as well as they can be. Although I technically don't have as much time to 100% games like I used to, my completionist tendencies will never fail me. It was likely ingrained in me when I saw a game's file select screen for the first time, which had to be in the original Legend of Zelda on NES. With that said, I don't think I actively thought about completing games at 100% or pursued the idea until I saw a game displaying your completion percentage, which was likely the original Donkey Kong Country on SNES. So, here are 4 instances from 2013 that made me feel complete. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, finishing all 120 missions in Merry Magoland. Minigames are no stranger to Kirby, and in some entries, they're usually required to reach 100% in-game completion. In this updated Wii port, a ton of new minigames were added, and they brought a handful of challenging achievements / missions with them. Similar to how I feel about the arenas in post-game Kirby titles, completing the minigames and everything they have to offer is extremely difficult and somewhat time-consuming. But I did it, and it's ironically one of my most memorable gaming experiences of 2023 so far. Show image 1. Whoa! Your phone okay? Yo, Wayne Brady just came out as pansexual?
Okay, so this is
That's
what
cool.
I feared.
Uh-oh. We don't have these images.
No, we do. These are the
they're the web
ones.
Ps.
So let me hide this. There is, I think, a workaround. I go to here, and go to here. All right.
Ah.
So, oh yeah.
It looks perfect.
It's not displaying it correctly.
You could just full screen it and show the web browser. We could describe it.
I don't like doing this, but we're gonna have to. Hopefully it doesn't crash everything. If it does, sorry. Alright, we're only doing this for 5 images. And I'll just do this. So there's the first one.
Nice. 120 out of 120, baby.
Alright, I'll have to delete it so we can go back so we can read the next thing.
Okay. Humanity, unlocking the Platinum Trophy without watching any of the solution videos. Humanity is the best traditional puzzle game I've played in a long time. I need to play it. It's a deceptively deep puzzler that feels like it's trying to be a bunch of different games at once. How the game starts, where it goes, and how it ends feel completely different experiences. Despite always building on its own ideas as you progress, one great accessibility feature is the ability to watch in-game solution videos for each level. On the stats screen, however, the game keeps track of how many times you watched the solutions for a puzzle. Although I'm not against looking up things or asking for help in games when I'm completely stuck, I felt compelled to figure out all of these sequences on my own, and I did. Humanity was my favorite aha moments next to Tears of the Kingdom in 2023. Show image 2!
I'll try this again. No, okay.
Scheisse! Why are they so tiny?
I know. That one I don't know.
Something happened with these images where they're coming out real small. So that's pretty much illegible, but we believe that says completion, total completion, no watchy clippies.
Maybe I'll just try something else real quick. I have it over here. Oh, I can't see. I guesstimate. Oh, further. Up. There we go. Alright, where is your submission? That image is Maddie. Try this instead. This might work better. No. Did not.
Maybe they're just tiny.
Yeah. I'm just double checking. Yeah, they're just really tiny. Sorry. Alright.
In Tears of the Kingdom, you're earning 2 full rows of hearts. You know you're in it when you break into a second row of hearts in any Zelda game, yeah. I've always considered it a halfway point in a sense, a no turning back now, you're gonna finish this shit type of moment. Although, the work offline, never miss a beat thing popped up. Oh, it says we're offline. Are we buckling? What's going on? I'll keep reading just in case we're online. You're gonna finish this shit type of blah blah blah. Where was I? Although I never completed all of the shrines in Breath of the Wild, I just couldn't stop myself from finding and completing as many shrines as I could so I could increase my maximum number of hearts in Tears of the Kingdom. I took the same approach to Breath of the Wild, but always try to get 2 full wheels of stamina first. Then the rest goes into hearts. I managed to get 2 full rows of hearts in Tears of the Kingdom without looking anything up, and it was such an amazing experience.
Right.
Show image 3. They say we can skip the images if we don't feel like it.
Okay.
So it's 2 full, perfectly spaced rows of hearts. It's actually very satisfying. Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Lost Demon achieving 100% in-game completion, including platinum trophies and all of the tier nog trials. But default difficulty in Bayonetta Origins is disappointingly easy. All of the game's challenges challenge comes from earning platinum trophies in the game's optional trials. These trials are similar to the hidden versus secret missions from Bayonetta and Devil May Cry respectively. They ask the player to have a complete understanding of the game's combat system in addition to simply being efficient and knowing when to cut corners. It's here in these trials where the game's systems truly shine, and I had a blast mastering them. Thanks again for all that you do, and if there's still enough time, what was the last game you 100%ed and why? Love and respect. I platinumed Elden Ring, but I don't...
4 remake.
Ooh, yeah.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
100%ed.
Yeah, 100%ed, like even like 16, like Platinum's not 100%ing it, so
yeah.
I did not 100% it, yeah.
I feel like I did one lately, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. All right. Well, next set of images comes from Matt Preston. Hello, Ally. Hello, Isla. I said ally.
I mean, also true?
Yeah. Hello, Isla, Damiani, and other showcasers. Back in February this year, I was able to preview my Fiasco playset on the community showcase. I thought that was enough of a celebration for me to consider the project done and a success. However, once I saw that Fiasconauts was on the EZX goals, I held my breath. And I held my breath even more once I saw Fiasconauts show on the weekly schedule in May.
Yeah.
It was more than I could have ever hoped for, even getting an all-star cast, so thank you Isla Hink, Jessica Linverdi, Brandon Jones, and Michael Huber for making my grape-infused psychedelic sci-fi creation into something I won't forget.
It was great.
I hope to extend and build more, is it Tusk? You say Tusk, okay, Tusk projects, and wouldn't have the energy or confidence to do it without EZA and the community. There is a screenshot of the Itch.io page, or is it Itch.io? Actually? Okay.
That's the colloquial, in the parlance of our times.
Gotcha.
Itch.io.
Page, check out, there's a screenshot of the Itch.io page of the Fiasconauts playset featuring the Fiasconauts episode and another screenshot of a new project. I'm currently working on some conversation trees.
Ooh.
I'm hoping to make a video game of some sort, something inspired by Citizen Sleeper, but more grapes. but am just in a writing phase at this point.
It's an important phase.
It may include some familiar elements like Big Sal Rider and the Tuss Toss, for example.
Yay!
And hopefully I'll be able to explore some elements that weren't covered in the Fiasconauts episode.
You set up a lot of great stuff. That's always the bummer of doing a Fiasconauts, is that you can't do everything that's in the playset. And that's also the beauty of Fiasco, because you can replay a playset and it'll be completely different. But there were a lot of great ideas in there that we didn't even touch on.
Thanks again for playing the Fiasco playset, and I look forward to making some progress this year. I'll send a physical version of the Fiasco playset once I manage to get around to mailing it.
Oh.
Love and respect to all.
Thank you.
Let's check the.
I loved it. It was so much fun.
No.
Bah? Oh, it's hidden.
Obvious.
There we go. Itch.io. I love the way Itch.io looks, honestly. Just like, I mean, obviously it's just like a little blog, but I can't really see it. But check. Well, can we zoom in and see the link to their? You can't see a link on there anyway. Well, go to their Itch.io. Matt Preston. Press. Was it? Oh, is that Twine, baby?
There you go.
I use Twine. That's what I built my website in. IslaHink.com. Check it out. It's an absurd Twine game.
Dang.
That's clean, though. That's nice. It's like an umbrella. Mine looks like a nightmare.
Alright. Next up is the Soul Crusher.
This is my turn, right?
Yes.
Greetings, Damiani and Isla. Hello. Recently finished Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and I loved it. Great story, great locations, great set-piece moments, and, of course, great bonds. Some challenging fights, including a few tense moments that I ended up having a pixel of health left and no stims. All around great Star Wars stuff, and I can't wait for the inevitable sequel. My plan was to start Final Fantasy XVI next, but then Baldur's Gate 3 seemingly came out of nowhere, and that has sunk its mind flare tendrils into my brain. We are truly riding the cataclysmic wave of content TM for 2023. Anyway, here are some screenshots of my playthrough. Enjoy. Love and respect, the Soul Crusher. But Saul like the sun.
Sun Crusher.
Saul Crusher. Love it. Sophia really liked this game a lot. I watched her play it, and I enjoyed it.
Very much reminds me of the beginning of Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Where are the droidicas?
Nice. It's a nice shot.
That's beautiful. It's a very pretty game.
Yeah.
I have something in my eye. Kubalu.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah. Being able to change Cal's hair is very good. Whoa!
Oh, nice.
These are some great shots.
See a droid.
Oh, that's beautiful. Have you been on Rise of the Resistance?
Yes, I have.
That shot reminded me of the part when you're going through and it's shooting out the window at the ships. That part's great. That ride is crazy.
Oh.
Whoa, that's cool.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast. Thank you. The link for the itch.io is in there. Oh yeah, I like that area. Hell yeah, look at that. Well, fam.
All aboard. Nice.
Cute game.
Nice looking game.
Mo Grant!
That's right. Mo Grant's next. Hey, Damiani and Isla. I'm back with some more comics for you.
Hell yeah.
But with another twist, as this time we have a series of newspaper-style comic strips. One of our writers, Alex, moved to a new town last year, and the neighborhood has a monthly newsletter.
Oh.
They asked us if we'd be interested in a monthly strip for the newsletter, and we had to say yes.
That's awesome.
The strip follows a super-powered family on their daily adventures.
First pick.
First pick.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Oh my
Hyper
god.
Mega.
Mama Bear, dude! Oh god, this is great.
Itty bitty, oh my gosh. It has been so much fun to do, and we are on our 9th month of strips. These are the first 8.
Picks 2 through 9.
Alright, all at the same time. Let's go. No, I was kidding.
Okay, here we go. Dad, can we go to the lake? Son, look outside, it's snowing. So that's a yes? Love it. They're so cute. Wonder what the kids are up to. Great presentation on pinecone art. More ideas like that, and you will go places in this company. Or, having fun kid adventures.
Whoa.
Packing up. She's a druid. I was hoping she could turn into a bear.
That's cool.
That's my trash, buddy. What are you doing? Dad always says not to eavesdrop when people are talking, so I'm eavesdropping when they're not. That's very pure.
Oh.
Well, that's when the Deer Witch told us to find the Soul Crystal Staff so we could defeat the Iron Warlock of the Midnight River. Oh, nice imagination. Should we tell him what actually happened? No, he looks happy thinking we made it up. Oh, tell him that actually happened. What a great day at the lake. The kids sure are tired. A bunch of Santa... It's Sandy! This is funny because oftentimes their adventures are just regular, everyday life adventures, which I appreciate. This was my favorite movie growing up. You're gonna love it. Can we play before the movie starts? Yeah, please. Go ahead, kids. Kids, come watch the movie. You're missing the best part. Maybe they'll be ready next year. Oh, that breaks my heart.
That's good.
Dad, our frisbee got stuck in the tree. Well, what can I do about it? Come on, maybe that's not such a good idea. The neighbors already think we're strange enough. Exactly, nothing to lose. That's why they call him Mr. Mega. Because he gets big. I love it.
Yeah, really good
That's
stuff.
really cute.
Once again, thanks for everything, and as always, you can find more of our work on our Instagram at Lucky33Comics and our artists at JR Comic Arts.
Let me make sure I'm following you. Oops, I was forgetting it. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm getting 800 notifications.
And when you have confirmed that, we are now ready for headphones.
Followed. My phone did not charge last night, it seems.
This will probably be the year if I finally try and get a new phone.
Oh my god, I love your beard.
This will be the first time iPhone uses USB-C.
Oh, do you have an iPhone right now? Get on that Android train, bruh. Get on my level.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's really it's this Sunday? No, next Sunday. Wait, no, this Sunday. Shit.
It's really a lot. Wait, really a lot? Are you the artist or are you Mo? Mo? I thought Mo's name was just Mo in chat, or maybe that's Discord.
Yep. Yeah, Mo's in here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's Mo. Okay. It's really a lot. Are you JR? I always want to like attach the. Anyway.
Right.
Oh, look at this robot.
Are you
Locking
ready
door.
for
That's
this?
a great cover.
Oh,
I'm looking at JR's art.
I didn't hear.
Oh, I'm the writer. Okay. Sick. Wait, what's your Instagram? Do you have one? My god. Okay. Alright, anyway, let's go.
All right.
I don't know what's going on.
Waiting because we had to listen, so
Oh.
it's waiting. We have our one and only audio submission for this month from none other than Kevin Gillet.
Nice.
Would you like to read, Isla?
Yeah.
It's technically your turn.
Oh, yes. I'm trying to follow everyone who ever lived on Instagram. Whatever. Oh, I hurt myself. It's all really a lot. Okay, I forgot the all. I'll do that in a minute. FF16 is over. Loved the spectacle and what they did with the core concepts of their world, but I was glad when it ended because coming off of Zelda, the fact that the gameplay was reduced to just combat and then walking along a corridor that leads to the next cutscene made the whole thing quite repetitive for me. Now back to Pikmin 4 full time. That's sort of how I felt too. Isla, you missed my latest Korg gadget made submission. Oh, damn. Made submission by a month. But I thought of something different that you might enjoy for this month. And no, I don't know how it came to my mind, but making it made me laugh. Love and respect, Kevin Gillet. How do you say that? The E has an accent that I've never noticed before.
Oh, well, Blood
Kevin.
just told me it's Kevin Gillet.
Yeah.
And he was very authoritative about it, but I don't know.
Blood sometimes says things with authority that he doesn't actually know what he's talking about. Lovely premonition. This is marvelous. Yeah, it sounds like that too. stay to drink some coffee. This is beautiful. All of our flies are out there dancing. Beautiful. Beautiful. Truly
Very nice,
fantastic.
Kevin. Oh, there we go. Which brings us to our video submissions.
Hell yeah.
And kicking it off is none other than Alexander Zirinov. Hello, allies! I'm continuing highlighting Apex Legend characters, and today we'll talk about Catalyst. Tressa Catalyst Smith grew up on Boreas, a faltering planet with a deteriorating moon. During her turbulent teenage years, she felt more at home with fellow misfits who spent their time on crystal readings, moon rituals, and personal witchery. Over time, Tressa and her friends got incredibly concerned about corporate encroachment on Boreas's crumbling moon, Cleo. One night, Tressa and her closest friend, Margot, broke into a facility that launched mining equipment onto the surface of Cleo. Margot attempted to blow the facility,
Whoa.
and while Tressa was protesting, they were discovered by guards. Margot was apprehended, but Tressa managed to escape. Police were looking for her, so she fled to Cleo and joined the terraforming crew of the newly developed colony. Over years, Tressa achieved mastery over ferrofluid, using it to erect structures and protect her coworkers from debris. She also grew attached to her new community and started seeing the settlement as a new hope for the moon. However, these hopes were dashed after Seer and Apex Games' leadership announced that Cleo will become the new arena for the games. Wishing to use prize money to support herself and her found family, Tressa joined the games as Catalyst. For a while, she blamed Seer for the destruction of her community and forcing everyone back to Boreas, where they couldn't be themselves. However, when she realized that Seer deeply cares about the people of Boreas and did all of this out of love, she started to forgive him.
This is a very complicated game.
In terms of gameplay, Catalyst is a controller legend, which allows you to use ring consoles to reveal the next ring. Her passive ability allows you to reinforce doors, locking them to enemies and making them harder to break. Also, she can replace destroyed doors with a Pharaoh barrier, helping you to hold back opponents who are trying to storm your building. With her tactical ability, Catalyst throws a patch of ferrofluid, which turns into spikes when enemies get close.
I played as this when we played with Alexander one day.
Spikes slow and damage opponents trying to walk over, making them an easier target. Activated spikes also give away those who are trying to hide nearby, allowing you to discover ambushes. Catalyst's ultimate ability is a permeable wall of ferrofluid that blocks opponents' scanning abilities and slows and partially blind enemies trying to walk through it. This allows you to hide yourself from snipers, isolate individual opponents, or force other teams to fight each other in the endgame ring. Additionally, Catalyst is immune to effects of spikes and walls created by other players. However, your opponents can destroy spikes, shoot through walls, move over or around it, so you need to place them thoughtfully. I like playing as Catalyst because she supports several different playstyles. In this video, I've tried to highlight I've tried to highlight her abilities as well as her interactions with Loba, Horizon, and Seer.
Yeah.
This is just a small taste. The game has much more than I could possibly show in just 3 minutes.
Loba's sick
This?
too.
It's an iron-based chemical, you know what? Call it a witch's brew. I'm the jump master. Don't worry, this isn't the first time I've led a ritual. Call us shooting stars! I've defined the ring's next location and marked it on your
Is
map.
that new? I don't remember doing that. I remember doing that.
Strong enough to pierce.
That.
Broken enemy shield. These will pierce them.
Nice.
Broken enemy shield. We dealt
That's
with the
good
champion.
placement.
We make a proper little coven. Shields need a bit more power. Form for Recharging my shield. The whole squad is gone. They messed with the wrong witch.
Beautiful. Keep the magic going.
Well, you always find the nicest things.
Thank you. Maybe next time you can help me dig up some gems.
Oh, it's just a wee scratch, dear. We're all inside the ring. Fantastic.
Thank you. I hear you're in tune with space and tea. I could do a reading for you.
A tea reading? Oh, I do love anything to do with tea. And reading. I hear you read tea leaves. Be interested in reading mine?
Yes. Some tea and a restoration ritual would be nice.
Oh, join me for a cuppa later. Maybe divine what's in the stars for me.
Oh, of course. I can also make you a charm bag.
Yes! Oh, and you're very welcome, dear.
I'm down, but I
Get
can be
up.
saved.
And try not to break anything.
Imena, thank you. Truly.
Wow, received.
Bleeding out.
Took a glimpse of your future. You've got more to do.
My thanks.
It's a good thing I believe in second chances. And second lives.
Activating a heat shield.
Champion. Oh yeah, I like the face.
Yeah.
You are the Apex Champions.
Nice.
Nice.
You again?
V cool.
No, right?
Bo! Hi everybody. I've beaten 16 and I can't say much that I like about it. It was my first Final Fantasy game, so there's not my Final Fantasy here. I won't get into the reasons because I'm sure enough has been, pardon me, said about 16 already. But there's one thing I can't get over. Everyone keeps saying that the combat is just like DMC. I said that earlier today, actually. From reviews, previews, everybody. It sold me on the game, but it's not. DMC 3 and 5, in my opinion, is the epitome of combo action games, and comparing them would be as if comparing dog food to a burger. Yes, they're food, but one is clearly good. 16's combat is closer to Black Desert, or a gacha mobile game, where you spam cool animations, wait for a cooldown, and then repeat. Oh yeah? Okay, now that I've gotten that out of my system, I finally have an update for the game I'm making. I want to transition. I've uploaded another devlog and released a demo on Itch.io. I have a link for the demo in the YouTube video, but I'll put one here too. I'm much further behind than I'd like to be, which I get into in the video, but now I'm at a steady pace. Sorry. Love and respect. P.S. started replaying Bionic Commando, so all the music in the video is from that.
Okay.
So it's been a little bit since I last updated. I'm sorry for that, but I haven't been lazy. I was actually supposed to be dropping a demo way back in January or December. Clearly that didn't happen because of some roadblocks I'll get into. The first one was just a bug in UE4 that deleted half of my assets that I placed into the map, and I had to try and put them back. The second issue I had was saving. Apparently saving consistently is pretty difficult. So, for instance, you'd load the game after you saved it, and it would save your location, but not the level you were in, so you would just fall. Or it would then save the level, but not the location, which defaults you to 000 coordinates, meaning you go into a wall or wherever 000 coordinates had on it. And last, it could save your location and the level you were in, but didn't save your abilities at all, so there was nothing you could do anyway. The third issue I was running into was making the menu. To make the menu, I had to use Unreal's widget system, which is how Unreal makes UI. I've heard people refuse to use Unreal simply because of their widget system, because it's just infuriating to use. I thought they were just exaggerating, but no, I completely agree with them now. It can be very frustrating to use widgets, because I'm reusing this word a lot in this episode, but it's very inconsistent. The problem that I was having is that gamepad support just refused to work properly. It would work fine, but then you boot it up again, and then it just wouldn't. It would start to lose focus. And what I mean by that, in the game engine, you have to focus on a button, and then the button will actually work when you hit like the X button or the square button or something like that. So it has to focus on it first. But the problem is that if you move the D-pad or something like that, it will just lose focus, and then you can't get back. In fact, there's quite a few games out there using UE4 that people have reported having similar problems that I'm confronting with right now. Thankfully, following Saib's tutorial, I was able to get mine working. I'm now brute forcing it using an override input function. But the main reason why I didn't release the demo was because it was just terrible. It just didn't flow right. The platforming was just bad. You had no idea where you were going. You would get hit, and without knowing why you got hit or what hit you, it was just terrible. So I had a friend take a look at it. And with a new perspective, I really knew just how bad it was. So I just canned the whole entire map, and I started from scratch.
Jeez.
But with the new game plan, I was able to progress much faster. I redid the moving platforms so now you can hang on them, going side to side and up and down and diagonal, as well as fixing a bug that when you crouched, you would slide to the edge for some reason. I fixed more save issues where it wouldn't save your abilities moving to a different map. I also put more sounds into the game, so now there's more sound effects. And testing more mechanics that I'm putting into the game, as well as fixing a lot of bugs that I'm still finding. The game is still in a rough state, an early state, but I'm much more prouder of what I have now than what I had before. I released a demo on itch.io. There'll be a link in the description. I hope you go and check it out. I could really use feedback, and I appreciate you for watching. And hopefully I'll have another update for you next month.
Some people say itch.io, some people say itch.io, some people say itch.io.
Okay.
It's all acceptable, but I say itch.io typically.
No, alright.
Typically-o.
Dang. Yeah. Making games seems hard.
Yeah, it does. I was thinking about that with Baldur's Gate 3, where I'm just like, man, they had to program for every possible thing. It's just like, good lord.
Our next video submission comes from Damon, Radioactive Magic. Hello, allies. So here we are, the end of a 2-year journey. This might be my last submission to the Community Showcase. Likely ever.
Oh.
Although, who knows what the future will bring. Maybe I'll return with more stuff down the line, but for now, this is the last episode of my game design study of Pokemon.
I like these.
As such, I would like to make my first and last request for an extended watch from 3 minutes to 5 minutes and 38 seconds. I do
Sure.
apologize for that. Okay, they tell me where to start. Okay. Oh, that's wrong thing. There we go. Shows the wrong file to change. Could have been a problem. And then we want to go to which time? Sorry,
4:13. Whoa, nailed it.
Here we go. I just hit OK. I bring it up, and here we go.
Let's begin from the beginning. In a new fantasy world completely unlike our own, you can find these magical creatures called Pokemon, who inhabit an ecosystem that itself is equally magical. Whether the game is open world, a little more linear, or just a bunch of interconnected routes, that environment is filled with secrets to find and dangers to avoid. Professor Oak has just completed his Pokedex invention, and it is ready for field testing. His understudies, eager young trainers, are given one each and the mission to catch all the local species. It's not that they don't know anything about the Pokemon in the area, quite the opposite. Professor Oak knows practically everything about them. But this invention is supposed to automatically record the information. To quote an earlier episode directly, however, the point of the field test is not to fill the Pokedex with what they already know, but to see if the invention works as intended, to record vast amounts of information about Pokemon beyond what they have ever recorded before, if not, also have it confirm, independently, what they already knew. It has to perform well in the event a new Pokemon is discovered, for example, Mewtwo. The Pokedex works by analyzing the matter conversion technology, or data, inside Pokeballs, that itself was only invented just a few decades prior. Before that, Pokemon were never stored in anything. They were caught and trained with cages and nets. Some people may still use older methods, but those are quickly going out of fashion. Since the Pokedex has access to such a great wealth of information, it in fact holds multiple entries for you to discover about each and every Pokemon. Those entries connect to other Pokemon and the environment they have a relationship with. There are a lot of ways you can discover a new entry. Most times you breed each species, the Pokemon you put next to each other in a team, the food you feed them, the moves you teach them, what it took to find them in different environments you encounter them in.
Playback is getting all
Even
messed
the
up.
people you talk to, and the books 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 to, and
Hang on. Oh, what happened here? It's like it's like glitching out.
Oh, start at, end at,
Yeah, it's like
XSplit's freaking out.
let me try resetting the file. We're at what time? 6:20. Let me restart the file. Here, this will fix it. Yeah, here.
the food you feed, 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 the food.
Set, like, type in the end time to 9 minutes, whatever. The end time, not the start time.
Oh. put like 55.
No, it's moving the start time too.
Expletive
XSplit is borking out.
pause. No. I mean, it has literally never done this before.
Yeah.
I can, let me get the source file real quick. Maybe we can just do this instead. Let's go and do it over here.
If Pokemon was rebooted, would becoming the champion still be the end goal of every game? Or could it become a stepping stone for something far greater? So here we are, the final episode. It's not the end of my channel yet, I have more videos planned. But for this design study, this poker study, this is the end. As such, I want to finish with a topic that reflects on a lot of the ideas I have explored previously, combines, and expands on them. And what better topic to end on than the end goal of every Pokemon game? The Pokemon League, Elite Four, and attaining the title of champion. In previous episodes, I tried to steer away from the game's focus of being the best for the pursuit of studying and bonding with Pokemon. But what am I going to do? Completely avoid this topic? Of course not. The last bunch of topics I did were all related to player motivations, and the game's climax is a very important part of that. Most games have to have an end goal, a reason to roll the credits, and becoming the champion is a very neat way of doing that. Or it would be if I wasn't about to totally mess with it. Cue the transition music. Team, the food you feed them, the moves you teach them, what it took to find them in different environments you encounter them in. Even the people you talk to and the books on the shelves you read will be great sources of Pokédex entries. But where does all this information go? Who holds it? If this field test is a success, someone has to organize and coordinate all the professors across the planet to fill out this Pokédex. That person, of course, is you. Not the protagonist of each game, you the player. You work for the Pokemon University, who holds all the Pokemon you have, just like the Pokemon Home system, as well as their Pokédex entries. An institute whose core principle is to learn about and care for all the Pokemon in the world. All the professors you meet are employed by this university. This is, after all, where they got their credentials.
They are professors.
By having each game in the series connect to your Pokemon University account, even if you go back to an older game and catch a Pokemon you missed, the Pokédex will be updated in all the connected games. This alleviates the need to have all the Pokemon from previous games be present in the new ones. Don't worry though, there is a companion game to the University, a Battlegrounds game that allows you to simulate a battle comprised of any Pokemon ever recorded across the series. Now, I may as well note here, there are a few episodes where I didn't introduce anything narratively. The battle mechanics where I worked to reduce the need to grind, the art style episodes, the type chart one, and my personal favourite, the Forging Bonds episode, were all focused more on the game development side of Pokemon. But getting back to the narrative, the understudies that the player takes control of every generation are given a special license to catch and train as many Pokemon as they want. They have a very special job to do after all. For everyone else, there is the law of 6 Pokemon that states you are only allowed to have 6 Pokemon under your ownership without a license for more. To expand your license, you have to collect gym badges to prove to the world that you are a capable and hopefully responsible trainer. However, there is also another part to the law of 6 that states regardless of your license, no one is allowed more than 6 Pokemon on their person, no exceptions. Because Pokemon are walking weapons of notable destruction, this law keeps people from becoming a general of an army, so to speak. These laws could be many years older than Pokeball technology with a solid history for why they exist. The combination of these laws helps explain why you would be hard-pressed to find a lot of young or more casual trainers to not have the full 6 Pokemon on their person. Not all Pokemon they own are for battling. Only the serious, more experienced trainers would have all 6 slots occupied, and most of them do. Since the player character has this special permissions license, they have a distinctive edge over everyone else when it comes to strategizing their team builds. For any NPC that discovers the player owning this license, they will have varying opinions about it. On the flip side of those who obey the law are those who do not. Criminals and villains have their own unique mechanics of holding more Pokemon than they should and throwing them all out at once. I went through how we don't need to have the bad guy story revolve around capturing legendaries. However, it is only natural that there would be times where people with sinister ideals would get their hands on overly powerful Pokemon, legendary or not. Criminal organizations that would become untouchable and undeniable to the average person.
Oh, 3 more seconds.
What could possibly stop them?
Alright, there you go.
So good. These are such good videos. Sorry about that. XSplit freaked out. We got 2 more and then the house party begins.
Yep.
Thanks for bearing with us. We're a little behind schedule here. We're back.
Alright, we're back. Yay.
Hello. We also have to figure out why chat is so delayed again, but we're back.
Oh.
We've got
it was,
2.
I know what it is.
What?
We just hit refresh on the browser window. For some reason, the device is getting...
Oh.
Yeah, that's how we fixed it. It wasn't Twitch. It was refreshing this, and then it was caught up. Yeah.
Noise.
There we go.
Alright.
Alright.
We've restarted chat.
There we go.
Alright, 2 to go and then the house party begins. With
Yep.
those no good frat kids.
Oh, I don't think we finished reading the rest of this. Sorry. To very quickly summarize the rest of the episode, Pokemon champions have been in the games as the people to save the world from evil villains and rampaging legendaries. They're essentially superheroes. Generally speaking, the Pokemon series takes the players through the journey of becoming a superhero and then just rolls credits with little to do afterwards. That has been changing in the most recent games, but could do much better going forward. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this. Thank you, Damiani, for watching so much of my stuff. And my extended thanks to Jones for seeing the first half of them. Thank you, Isla, for being here today. And if you can, please extend my thanks to Ben Moore and Bloodworth for their roles and inspiring me to do my best in writing these videos in the highest quality I could. And of course, my thanks to the community for their enthusiastic support. I love all of you. I love you all. Continue to be wonderful, and I will see you around. Love and respect, Damon.
Nice.
There you go.
Great stuff.
All right, 2 more. Next one's from
German efficiency.
Yeah.
Hey. Easy Allies Evolved is back again and has a new channel trailer. The video hopefully explains what it is.
Let's go hard, buddy. Right there. Exclusive. Bradley Ellis. Summer Game Preview.
Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
Behind you, brother.
Uber.
Some weird shit went down. Sort your life out.
Yeah. Uber.
Yo, I was confused.
No.
Troll trick.
People like Sean, and Sean's a showman. Sean's very fun. Sean's very motivating.
Come back and be our trainer.
Very nice. And that brings us to our final submission for this community showcase from Nick Gothic. Hello, Damiani. Hello, Isla. It's time for my latest chapter in the history of the demo scene.
Yeah.
This time we talk about the humble beginnings of cracking groups and cracktros.
Hell yeah.
For the for this story, there is no more compelling setting than Germany during the Cold War, where both West and East Germany had their own policies prohibiting games with various propagandic content. Getting a hold of the latest computers in these countries was also a fraught and adventurous business, and once you did, the only way you could get some games is with the help of those who were fortunate enough to travel abroad. Seniors over the age of 65 were allowed unrestricted access from East to West Berlin and vice versa, and often they would be the ones to smuggle software or entire computers from one country to the other, where the duty would be to spread it across all other areas of Western or Eastern Europe and maintain this dialogue, all while under the watchful eyes of the German secret police, the Stasi. I hope this is particularly interesting to Isla. Now, Mrs. Isla. all my blessings
I
and
suppose I am a Mrs. now. Holy shit. I hadn't really thought about that.
Yeah, all
Oh
my
my
blessings and
God.
well wishes. You make me happy. Love and respect, Nick Gothic, aka Clown Boss.
You make
Here
us happy.
we
I love these
go.
videos. I love these crack tros, dude.
In the home computer boom of the late 70s, with the likes of the Apple II, you begin to see the embers of companies placing copy protection, where diskettes could not be easily copied, where publishers would push a steep price for their software, and where distribution will not yet cover many of the far reaches of the world. And this is where hackers saw it as their duty to do something about it. What they would do is they would break or crack this copy protection, so that if anybody wanted, they could just copy diskettes and share them freely. The hackers did not sell these cracked
Heroes.
copies, and they demanded no money for the work. That would defeat the point. But in a savvy bit of self-promotion and networking, and also to further the idea of cracking software, hackers would leave their own signatures, their very own digital graffiti in a sense, by opening the
love it,
software
dude.
with a crack intro, usually with very cool graphics and music. But the first crack intro, or cracktro as we'll come to know them, might have been documented as far back as 1981, for the epics game Crush, Crumble and Chomp for the Apple II. You lead monsters attacking a city. It was basically Rampage before Rampage. But a notable thing about the game is when you boot it, you'll find the intro screen where it says, broken by the Pirates, September 26, 1981. It's really funny that this person has every legitimate right to call themselves the Pirates, because they were truly the first one. They were really a pioneer. But when it comes to crackers, I think one of the most iconic and beloved pioneering ones will be made for the Commodore 64. For this, we have to go to the Berlins. I say it in plural because there were two of them.
That's
Getting
true.
video games in Germany, no matter which side you were on, was the pits. The NES and the IBM both made their way into West Germany, but they were really bloody expensive, and you could basically give up on getting the Apple II since it was basically only sold in America. On the other hand, in West Germany, you could affordably get an Atari 8-bit or a Commodore 64. This is really the reason why it became the folk champion of this country. But games were another matter, since even in a liberal country as in West Germany, every video game was still subject to a strict review for content, especially those that promoted violence or terrorism. For example, River Raid was famously banned in Germany because you played this plane just like destroying these oil tankers or whatever. Honestly, I get it. Germany was still just a couple of decades fresh from doing unspeakable stuff, that I understand this crucial need to reprogram its own society and regard it as an incredibly important thing. That's where the Berlin cracking service comes in. This is the Berlin Bear, graphics made by Lord Vader. It is a cracker that endows many of the Berlin cracking software games starting from 1984, and it shows quite literally a flag of Berlin, or the Berlin that once was. The Berlin cracking service were a West German group. They weren't the first German cracking group. Jedi and Plutonium crackers would precede them by a couple of months. But the success of the Berlin cracking service informed and inspired other gamers in both East and West Berlin that they could do this too, and crack and spread those games the state did not want them to have. I'm not going to pretend that the crack groups in Berlin was some sort of clever act of state subversion, or that the BTS managed to break the Berlin Wall or something. But the connection these disparate groups of people had, separated by both political and physical boundaries, were really telling, because there was a really profound love for something. When you love something, anything that has an immense value, you want to show it and share it with other people. That's why copying is an expression of love. Copying doesn't take value away from software, it adds to it. I get the sense that everybody who has ever dabbled in cracking or copying games, or has become a part of the demo scene, carries with them a bit of that spirit that helped Eastern and Western Germans unite, and that made them capable of creating a computer and gaming scene that will outlive even the states that try to restrict them. All hackers, crackers, and demo sceners, wherever they may live, are citizens of Berlin, and therefore, as a demo scener, I take pride in the words, Ich bin ein Berliner! Berlin Cracking Service, Jedi, Plutonium Crackers, Flash Cracking Group, and all other cracking groups of Berlin, we salute you!
This is the kind of music that crack. Later, like 90s crack, when you do like insane Euro techno. Oh, they cracked so many. Love it. Thanks, Nick Gothic.
Thank you. And that brings us to the end of this community showcase. Thank you so much.
Great work, everybody.
That post should be live now, or sorry, public now. It was already live for patrons, but for everyone else, you can now see a list of all these submissions on the Community Showcase post under the Community Showcase tag. Next month, consider becoming a $10 up patron, and you can submit your own cool art, video, audio, or just want to write us something, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Next month, the special team up, because it's technically my turn, which means that Gabby will be joining me. So the two of us will be here for the next Community Showcase.
Yeah.
Which will be taking place in September. I forget. We have it on the schedule. I forget which week. I think it's the first or second week, but it's coming up.
First week of September, we're going to the Mario World.
Yep.
Meet us there on the 6th.
Yep. We can just do the showcase there.
Yeah.
I want to do a showcase from there.
Yeah.
Because I want people to bring me cool Nintendo stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. All right. We're just gonna change over real quick, and we'll be right back with.
Do we have to go offline?
I mean, we just have to move stuff back over. We don't technically have to.
I'm just curious.
We have a be right back screen and can mute everything. That does exist. This is more a Bloodworth question, because how long? Oh, it's gonna go for 6 hours. We're two. Oh, okay, we won't hit the 12-hour thing, because they can't be too long, or otherwise you can't make whatchamacallit.
We better not be here for 12 hours.
No.
We'll be here for 6.
But this does mean that we should probably do a break.
We should do a break so that
we had
can get the
show
end part.
because the showcase got broken up.
We're
so
gonna go offline
Yep,
briefly, and then we'll be back in a couple of minutes with the house party, baby. Don't go anywhere.
All right.
Ooh-wee.